Bible Faith Made Practical. Day 3, have you talked to your mountain? Talk to God about your mountain, or talk to your mountain about God. Hi, I'm Andre Amsing from Bible Faith Made Practical. This is Day 3, have you talked to your mountain recently? We are all facing a mountain that blocks the progress of God's kingdom in our lives. According to Jesus, we need to talk to the mountain to get things to move. Truly I tell you, if you say to this mountain, be taken up and thrown into the sea, and if you do not doubt in your heart, but believe that what you say will come to pass, it will be done for you. So I tell you, whatsoever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it shall be yours. It is true that we don't spend enough time throwing our mountains into the sea. It might cause a tsunami. A mountain blocks our view of what God is doing. But we all have at least one mountain that blocks our view, and we can't see what God can do anymore. Several among us have been challenged by the same obstacles for years. But what are we saying out loud or in our mind? What do we believe or what do we hope for? It is not the same thing. You know, don't you, that faith comes from what you hear in the Word of God. Faith comes from what is heard. To clarify your thought, it is better to say it out loud. That way you hear it clearly. If you're going to believe somebody, it may as well be you saying out loud what God has promised. Because we believe everything that comes out of our own mouth, don't we? That is what Jesus says, say to this mountain. Or even better, write up your prayer on a Bristol. Note the date when you started to pray out loud and when it is accomplished. Jesus said the same thing 2 times, so it must be important. You'll notice that Jesus said the same thing 2 times in a row, in verse 23 and then 24. Believe that you have already received it. The prophet Isaiah said it too. Before they call, I will answer, and while they are yet speaking, I will hear. Isn't that amazing? God knows in advance what we are going to pray for, and if it is His will, He has already sent instructions for the blessing to reach us. To proclaim out loud God's promises creates in us the faith that is necessary for the miracle to arrive. Nothing more pleases God than our faith. She dared to say it. My friend Frank told me this story. Our family has the habit of going camping for a few weeks when on vacation beginning August, but we are never sure when the money from our floor tile sales would come in. Every day the girls would ask me, when are we leaving for our vacation? They knew if Daddy says today, they could start packing their bags. But bills had piled up and suppliers needed to be paid. I had to get several big checks from my clients who probably had other things to think about, a lot of worries. So how can I answer this request? One morning, the youngest girl, 10 years old, asked the question once more. So I asked her, did God talk to you this morning? I think He did. What did He say about our vacation? She struggled to dare to say it. I think He said we are leaving. I looked at the sun ray that was illuminating her golden hair. Okay, girls, start packing your bags. We are leaving this evening. And you're right, before 4 p.m., the checks we were waiting for arrived. The payments were made to the suppliers, and we had enough money for our vacation. The starting point is to say it out loud. God talks to our children, and the starting point is to say it out loud. We can now prepare our bags and our camping gear because Daddy said so. Do you now believe that having faith is the most practical thing in the world? If you want more of these messages, go to BibleFaithMadePractical.com. Download this ebook and find out how faith that takes position conquers giants.